Thousands of stories are told every day. Stories of unknown phenomena in just everyday life. Funny stories, sad stories, creepy stories. We're here to tell you some of these creepy stories. Many aren't true, we hope. Now cue the music, because this is Creepcast.
No, the other music. Please, stop.
Alone. You've never thought of the concept before, but as you are in your bed, unable to sleep, your mind starts to wander. You think about what you did or what you were going to do tomorrow. Then, you start to think of other subjects you wish you had never thought of. You wonder if you were the only one in the house awake at this hour. You wonder if you were the only one awake in your room. Right there, you hear a small, subtle creaks in your kitchen. Right away, you pass it off as just the wind. But then you hear it again. This time, you know it can't be. Just a second ago there was no wind, but a breeze. Maybe you're imagining it. Yeah, it's gotta be that. No one else is awake, and you're certain you locked the door. Minutes seem like hours, and you hear the creak again, but this time it seems closer. How could it? Your imagination and your mind are playing tricks. You live in a good neighborhood, and there's never any crime here. Your thoughts are cut off mid-sentence as you hear the noise, which seems to be just outside your door. Without hesitation, you throw your heavy comforter over your head to protect you. You're breaking out in a cold sweat, thinking over and over again, there's nothing here. Then, you hear the small, subtle creak of your door. The sound rips through your mind for what seems like hours. You want to check, but if you do, you could meet face to face with someone or something. So, you just shut your eyes as tight as you can, trying as hard as you can to go to sleep and just leave this nightmare. Hours go by without a single noise. Your heartbeat is slowing down, and you start to think of how stupid you were to think something was actually there. As you lift your covers off, you freeze and hear just one last thing. I see you.
Finally, I'm home. After working a late night, I finally finished a project that my boss pushed on me. It was all worth it, though, because I had a great day ahead of me. The part I was most excited for, though, was seeing my son. I finally won the custody battle against my ex-wife, so now I actually get to see him. I fixed up my old spare bedroom for him, although it looked bland and all white. I figured we would have some spare time later, and we could make any changes he wanted. I lumbered up the stairs, and when he finally heard I was here, he quickly called me into his room. "Daddy, I can't sleep. There's a monster in the window." Monsters, huh? That's original for a kid. Oh, don't worry about that. It's just the tree's branches blowing in the wind, see? I pointed and showed him the branch tapping against the window pane. He trusted me enough to calm himself down, and I kissed him goodnight. Finally, time for sleep. I could hardly even see straight at this point. I walked across this hallway and collapsed into my bed. I had too much on my plate to be dealing with monsters. I had to go with him to school the next day to get him signed up in our district. I had to buy him school clothes. I couldn't even think straight. That's when I heard him calling again. Man, I love the kid and all, but I needed some sleep.
Daddy, the monster is back again.
I looked to the window. Nope, nothing but the tree's branches. I walked over, and to prove it to him, I opened the window and turned back to him. See? It's nothing but the tree. I told you. Now go to sleep. You've got school in the morning. He was still a little startled from what I could see, but what could I do? I was just too damn tired. Again, I fell into the comfort of my bed. Then I heard a cry, and I had just had enough. Fine, I'll just sleep in your bed with you. If you see any monsters, just hold tight to me. I walked back into his room, pulled back his red blanket, and lay next to him. While I lay, eyes closed, my mind started wandering. Didn't I buy white sheets for the bed? I looked down at my son's neck and realized my mistake. That's when I heard it, except it wasn't tapping at the glass. It was the footsteps from the opened window. I couldn't help but laugh. How didn't I realize I had no trees in my yard?